Hello, how are you? Thanks for joining me in this presentation about the Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science, specifically for students that are interested in the 3+3 accelerated program in the Doctor of Physical Therapy. In this presentation, we're going to cover a variety of topics. First, focusing on different aspects of the 3+3 program, including the plan of study and just a description of some of the early work that you would be engaged in as a student. Secondly, talk a little bit about what can you expect from our program with respect to graduating and employment. And then third, getting to know a little bit about our program by getting to know our students, our faculty, and our alumni. I'm Dr. Susan Wainwright. I am the Department Chair of Physical Therapy on our Center City campus. One unique feature of our program is that the undergraduate portion of the program happens on the East Falls campus, and then students transition down to Center City for the professional phase of our program. As you can see here, my contact information is included if for any reason you'd like to reach out with additional questions. So, to spend a little bit of time talking about particular facets of the accelerated Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science program paired with the doctorate in physical therapy degree. We refer to these very commonly as 3+3 programs. And what this program does is pairs a traditional undergraduate program, accelerates that program, with a graduate program in a particular area of study. So for the 3-3 BS in Exercise Science DPT program, students would be engaged in 3 years of study in a traditional undergraduate program. There is always the option to continue on and complete the 4th year of study and to earn a bachelor degree in exercise science as an exit to the degree program. Students choosing to stay on for the full 6 years upon completion of their 3 undergraduate years, and provided that they've met academic standards and completed program prerequisites, would be eligible to enroll into the graduate program, an additional 3 years. Upon entering the graduate program, students would earn a bachelor degree in exercise science at the end of their 4th year. And you actually get to participate in graduation ceremonies commemorating achievement of that milestone. Students would then go on to complete an additional 2 years of the clinical doctoral program, and at the end of 6 years, graduate with a clinical doctorate in physical therapy. I'd like to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the specific components of the first 3 years in the traditional undergraduate program. This is a very ambitious course of study. And what we're trying to highlight here on this slide is to give you a sense of the requirements of you as a student. First is completion of all of the credit hours that are required for general education in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. That also includes completion of the hallmarks, which are part of the undergraduate curriculum at Thomas Jefferson University. Completion of the general education course requirements that include the hallmarks constitutes effort of about 40 credits of your program of study. Along with those general education courses that you're required to take, you also need to take additional required coursework to meet program prerequisites for the Doctor of Physical Therapy program. These program prerequisites are commonly agreed upon by physical therapy programs per the American Council of Academic Physical Therapy. These constitute 41 credits. Now, there is some double dipping or crossover between your general education coursework and those program prerequisite courses that you need to take. And when possible, we really work to identify synergies in that coursework, so that courses in biology might count for a general education requirement, meet a hallmark requirement, and a DPT program prerequisite. In addition to general education and program prerequisites, students will also be taking courses in their major. And your major as an undergraduate is exercise science. Students will complete a minimum of 26 credits in exercise science by the end of your third undergraduate year. This is important because this is what allows you to be eligible to receive the bachelor degree in exercise science. As we said, you would be conferred an undergraduate degree after your fourth year of study that includes the first year of the physical therapy program if you have tracked up in the 3+3 program. In that case, physical therapy courses count towards your degree in exercise science. Students who choose to continue a fourth year in the undergraduate exercise science program would complete required and elective exercise science courses. In addition to all of the courses that are required to enter the DPT program, our accreditors also require, as 3+3 track-up students, that you have an area of study in one particular concentration area. And specifically, it is to address the idea of having not only breadth of study, but also depth of study in one area of concentration. And we've just highlighted a few examples here for you in the diverse type of concentration areas of study that you could pursue. Everything from business to psychology to public health to a variety of languages. These areas of concentration are something that you would self-select and work with your advisor to make decisions about what might be the best choice for you. As we transition from talking about what the undergraduate degree program looks like, I did mention that there are undergraduate program prerequisites for the DPT program. Just to give you a sense of what those courses are, there are 32 credits in the natural sciences, and that includes 8 credits each of biology, chemistry, physics, and anatomy and physiology. The remaining 9 credits are centered in one course each in a writing intensive course, a social science course, and math and statistics. In your freshman year, you will have a course that introduces you to the discipline of exercise science. And one of the assignments in this course gives you the opportunity to explore the role of exercise across the health professions and wellness practice settings. So through interaction with a practitioner, you will have the opportunity to explore the practice opportunities that are available to you as a student pursuing an exercise science degree. For you who are particularly interested in the 3+3 DPT program, this might be focused on meeting with a physical therapist, or you may wish to explore other health professions, whether it be occupational therapy, athletic training, the fitness, personal training industry. And again, this is something that you would work with your course instructor to make some decisions about what would be meaningful to you as a student. As we talk about our degree program, within the professional phase of the DPT program, our graduation rate is 93%, meaning that 93% of the students who enter our program as a 3-3 student or a post-baccalaureate student finish the program on time. Our employment rate is 100%, and we define that as 100% of the students who choose to be employed in physical therapy are employed. That also includes students who go on to graduate school and or post-professional residency. Our licensure exam pass rate is 100%. That includes all of the students who've taken the boards for the past 2 years. Just to give you an example of the type of places or practice settings that our students, graduates are employed in, I've included a number here that represent where we have quite a few alumni working. Excel Physical Therapy is local to the Philadelphia region. It's actually owned by 2 Jefferson alumni. Good Shepherd Penn Partners is the name of the organization in which the therapists who work at the Hospital of University Healthcare System are employed. IV Rehabilitation is a multi-state outpatient physical therapist practice in which many of our graduates are employed in. Certainly, the Jefferson Health System affords our graduates numerous opportunities in a variety of practice settings. And Moss Rehabilitation, which is a collaboration that we have for quite a few of our clinical education experiences, as well as engage in their residency. Most recently, we were recognized as one of the best physical therapy programs. Our rank is number 49, which puts us in the top 25% of physical therapy programs nationally. As you think about becoming a physical therapist, the good news is that there is continued projected job growth, through pretty much the end of the next decade. And this job growth of 22% is well above average for most occupations, and I think we could say that about the health professions. Salaries, the median salary at this point in time is about $88,000. We're seeing our new graduates at this point in time being hired somewhere between, on average, between $68,000 and $72,000 as an entry-level salary. Something that we pride ourselves on in the DPT program is not only the rigorous coursework, but the ability and the opportunity for students to engage in our professional associations. Most prominent to you as a student in the program is the American Physical Therapy Association. We work very hard and are very intentional in having our students be engaged in the APTA, primarily through attendance in local, regional, and national conferences. Just this past year, we had just about 100 of our students in our program attend our combined sections meeting in Denver. At that conference, about 6 of our current capstone groups presented at conference, as well as 2 alumni groups. So we had a wonderful representation from Jefferson and a wonderful opportunity for our students to network with other professionals at conference. The Federation of State Board of Physical Therapists is the organization that administrates our national licensing exam. We spend a lot of time talking to students and preparing students for their national boards in the 3rd year of the program. And the Commission for Accreditation in Physical Therapy Education is the organization that ensures that we maintain rigorous standards. To give you some sense of our program and who our students are, we're going to highlight, as I said earlier, a student, a faculty member, and an alumnus. First, I'd like to introduce you to Peter Siv. Peter's a student in our 1st year class. He joined us in the fall or summer of 2019. Peter is local, and we actually got to know Peter through our Step Up program. He was an undergraduate student at Rutgers Camden and heard about our Step Up program as an effort to recruit students from underrepresented groups. And that, by our program, is defined very broadly in anyone who isn't a traditional 4-year post-baccalaureate student entering physical therapy. Peter spent a summer with us prior to the year in which he applied and was very successful both in his undergraduate studies and through the application process. I have to tell you, the quote that Peter has here really warms my heart because my statement to students at orientation upon welcoming them is to say, welcome, you are our future colleagues. And to have students recognize that very early, that the acculturation into the profession and becoming a professional is such an important part of our program, in addition to all of the coursework that everyone's engaged in. Really helps me feel good about achieving what it is that we try and achieve with our students at Jefferson. I'd like to highlight one of our faculty members, Dr. Stephanie Muth. Dr. Muth actually happens to be an alumnus of the program, graduating with her master's degree a number of years ago. She also holds a PhD in physical therapy from Temple University, which is where I first met Dr. Muth a number of years ago. She's very involved in teaching first-year students in our program. She's also an active researcher in both biomechanics and in working with patients with multiple sclerosis. She has been recognized for her excellence in teaching with a college award just this past year. But probably one of the most remarkable things about Dr. Muth is her engagement in the community to advance practice and serve the needs of those who are uninsured or underinsured. She's very involved in our pro bono clinics, particularly Puente de Salud, which is something that she got off the ground in collaboration with Rutgers University just this past year. What we highlighted on this slide, though, was a program that she's involved in called Go Baby Go. And it's designed to give children who have mobility impairments the ability to move through technology and fun. And as you can see in this picture, it's a picture of a child who has a movement disorder, who is being fitted by a number of students that are Thomas Jefferson University students to give them mobility and to engage in her community. What's neat about this project is that it's interprofessional. It includes physical therapy, occupational therapy, engineering, and industrial design students from across campus, and gives students the opportunity to come together to understand and learn about their own profession and understand and learn how to work on a team to meet a patient's need. This is the third year for this program, and it just continues to grow and grow. It's actually become a collaboration with Comcast. So just one of the very neat opportunities that students can pursue and participate in as students at Jefferson. And then lastly, I'll introduce you to Dr. Kevin Shattuck. Kevin is a recent graduate of Thomas Jefferson University. As you can see, he was the class of 2018. Kevin came to Jefferson via Widener, where he had been an undergraduate student, and if I remember correctly, in psychology, and immediately became very involved in our community service activities and engaged in the Jefferson Pro Bono Clinic and a number of other programs. He also participated in our service trip that we do each year to Guatemala with Hearts in Motion. And the goal of that trip is to provide physical therapy services to, again, those who would otherwise not have access to physical therapy in Guatemala. Kevin was a really remarkable student. One of the things that he didn't talk about in his bio is that he was one of the recipients of the American Physical Therapy Association Student of the Year Award from the Geriatric Society or section the year he graduated. He was recognized at a national meeting, and that launched him into his geriatric residency that he pursued right after graduation. One of the things, again, that we're very intentional about is helping students be recognized for their excellence. We have a scholarship and awards committee geared to students, and Kevin certainly benefited from that. And as you can see here, he really talked about the importance of just getting engaged. For him, getting engaged in community service and the institution opened a lot of doors to him that ultimately led to his employment now. So great story and a wonderful representative for Jefferson. So what I hope you see from just the story of those three, student, faculty, and alumnus, that everybody has a unique story. And that's what we're looking to create in our DPT program, cultivating individuals who are looking to advance physical therapist practice. So I'm going to conclude my presentation. I would encourage you to reach out with any questions. We would love to hear from you, and best of luck to you as you move forward.